All right. Welcome to the very first Scythe Jackal Q&A. I've wanted to do a Q&A for a while, but I didn't. And the reason I haven't done a Q&A is because I couldn't do live footage and I didn't think it was a good idea because, camera and stuff like that. But you get to look at this ceiling and this water bottle. So, all right, we got a comment. It's from Gamerboy. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Gamerboy himself. Hello. How are you doing today, man? All right. So this is basically gonna be how we do it. So I'm good. How about you? Pretty good. Felt kind of nauseous today, but that's okay. Sorry. Just drinking some of that good old water. So feel free to ask questions about anything, really. Nothing personal, of course, but like you can ask questions, of course. I don't see why not. Nothing personal and nothing. How come? Are you sick? No, but I think I had a stomach bug, so that was kind of the problem. I had a stomach bug and I was throwing up and it just wasn't going well. Didn't get any sleep last night. Horrible. But I'm feeling a lot better now, which is good, which is why I started this live stream. And I should have probably announced this at a different date because no one else really seems interested in Q&A, which is fine. It's late. I don't know how long this live stream is going to last, but maybe it'll last for some time. So feel free to ask any questions if like about upcoming videos, video ideas, personal stuff. Well, nothing personal, but like just stuff like that. I know it kind of sucks just seeing this black screen, but I'm sorry. This is just going to have to this is going to be what we're doing for Q&As in the future until if I ever live stream on something else. So, yeah, how are y'all doing tonight? I hope everyone's doing well. I know we only have one watcher right now, but that's cool. He's my most faithful subscriber. I have a personal question, but not too personal. What's your favorite food? My favorite food is a tie between steak, apples, and ice cream. Ice cream because it's just like it's so good. Yeah, and I know it's not healthy for you, but it's so good. It just comes in so many different flavors, and you're just mouth watering. Like, oh my god, it's so good on a hot summer day. And apples, I love to eat apples. I love fruit in general. In fact, maybe I should make a video about fruit. But I just love to eat fruit. I think it's very good for you. I know carbohydrates and stuff, but it's very good for you and all that. So yeah, I definitely love to eat fruit. And steak. Mm. Grilled steak is literally the best. So good. So delicious. It's good protein, but it's also just mwah. Tastes so good. I think for the next Q&A, I'm gonna announce this prior. That way people know that it's coming instead of just like saying, "Hey, Q&A up right now. Let's do it." Okay, we got a steak lover. Why? You're a good man. Thank you. It feels cool to live stream finally. I'm honestly shocked that a lot of people like I'm at like what 59 subs now, and that makes me kind of happy. Like I'm just like I made some videos. Two of them have hit over 1,000. Actually, no, 3 of them have hit over 1,000 views, and I'm just like, wow, that is really cool. Gotta love that YouTube algorithm. But it's really nice to have people who actually want to watch my content. And any other questions? Maybe like about reviews, future videos, but it's up to you. If you guys don't want to ask that, that's completely fine. You do you. Sorry, had to move something. Okay, so how's everyone? I know we only have one person in the chat right now, but that's still cool. How are you doing? What reviews do you plan on doing in the future? Okay, so I did announce this. I do have plans to do a Final Fantasy VII review. Final Fantasy VII is the only one I've played in the franchise, and I love it. And I just think like reviewing an old school RPG would be pretty cool, especially since there's a lot to talk about the game. I haven't played it in months, but I'm sure my review will still be like somewhat accurate. And I plan to do a Twilight Princess review, and at some point I might do a review of every 3D Mario game because I'm playing Sunshine right now, and it's pretty fun. It's kind of slippery, I guess you could say. It's really difficult compared to the other Mario 3D games. So yeah, that'll probably be a review. I might do movie reviews at some point, but I haven't seen a movie I mean, the last movie I saw, actually I saw a movie recently. It was Shawshank Redemption, which is one of the best movies ever made, so I might review that. There's a lot of other games I want to review. I've played a good amount. I'm definitely reviewing Xenoblade 3. Nintendo did. Do you think that in the future the Switch will stop being seen? Switch stop being seen. What exactly do you mean by that? Have you seen episode 1 of Bandy's Universe? No, I am subscribed to Nathaniel Bandy, but I haven't seen it yet. It did look kind of cool from the trailer, though. And hey, Scott the Woz is going to be in it, and I love Scott the Woz. So, yeah, that's another thing. Nintendo did ask this. Do you think that in the future the Switch will stop being seen? So, I don't know exactly what he means, but he might mean in the sense of, do you think it'll stop being seen? I mean, in terms of like sales, the Switch is killing it. It killed it during 2020 when like we were all in our homes and like it still sold well. It's really surprising how the Switch did so well given how Nintendo's last console was a total failure. So it's good that they didn't screw it up. But I think the Switch's success has also led Nintendo to make some questionable decisions with the games, like how they've been releasing certain games with lackluster content for $60 and then they just release the rest of the content later. The whole release now, fix it later approach that Demich has talked about for a while. So that's pretty annoying. Like Mario Strikers Battle League, I was so excited for that game. I was like, I love Mario Strikers. I can't wait to play this. But then I remembered, oh wait, Nintendo's been doing this with a lot of multiplayer Mario games on the Switch. And then it released, and what do you know? Lackluster content. They didn't even have Daisy at launch. How can you release a Strikers game without Daisy? She's literally one of the best characters in the series. So, yeah, I just and so far this year, like in terms of new games that have come out that I've played, I've only played Bayonetta 3, which I'm actually going to do a whole review on the Bayonetta series because it's one of my favorites. And Xenoblade 3, which I am definitely doing a review of that because it's Xenoblade and I love Xenoblade. So, yeah. Do I think the Switch will stop being seen? It depends on what Sony and Microsoft do. And if Nintendo keeps doing decisions like what they've been doing with certain games, then yeah, then I think it'll be stopped. Maybe. I don't know. Next question. Will you review Fire Emblem Engage when it comes out? Okay, Fire Emblem Engage is... Okay, sorry about that. Some dumb Okay, sorry about that. Some dumb YouTube thing came up. I'm very sorry about that. Will you review Fire Emblem Engage when it comes out? Maybe, because I'm actually excited for Engage because I love Fire Emblem and like it looks really fun. So I might do a review on the game. I got a review. The thing about video game reviews on my channel is that I want to review a lot of them, but I want to make a script for most of them because I feel like it'll be more efficient. Like most of my reviews so far have been for like stuff has been unscripted. The Overlord season 4 review unscripted. Don Mashi season 4 part 1 review unscripted. So, yeah, I'm planning to I think I will do a review for Engage because that could be really fun. That could be a really and I've played a lot of Fire Emblem games, so I think with I think my knowledge could work well with Fire Emblem Engage. So I think I'll do a review of that. It's coming out in January, which wow. I don't know if that's a good idea because it's a Fire Emblem game, but also because January is literally after Christmas. Releasing a game after Christmas is probably not a good idea because the game the game sales may falter. All right, I think Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was meant to come out in 2013, but it was pushed to like January or February of 2014 and then the game sold like crap. So, yeah, that's probably why you got to be careful with so, like being a game developer is hard, I think. It's I think a lot of people they grew up playing video games and they see, "Oh, I want to be a game developer." Well, it's a lot harder than just playing the game because you got to make the games, you got to learn 3D modeling and all that. Like that's a good hobby to have, like to learn 3D modeling and like coding. That's all great. But like I think a lot of people assume that game development is easier than it actually is, especially like game development nowadays would be way different compared to say game development in the 80s where the NES was a thing. But nowadays you have companies who want to squeeze as much money out of their consumer as possible. They'll probably rush the game developers and the game will be unfinished and the workers will be underpaid. But we're not here to talk about that. So, yeah. Fire Emblem Engage might get a review. In fact, maybe I should just do a ranking of I want to do more Fire Emblem related videos because I love Fire Emblem, but I don't know if I should really I don't know if like reviewing the other games is I can't talk today. It's this is my first time live streaming. I'm sorry. But I am definitely going to do Fire Emblem reviews. Whether I'm going to review all the games in one video, ooh, that video would be huge. I've played like 8 Fire Emblem games, so that video would be huge. Any other questions? Like you guys can like to anybody watching this, like feel free to ask questions obviously in the chat. Like feel free. This is a Q&A and I'll answer it if I can. I'm sorry that this Q&A has been super quiet. I think next time I make a Q&A, I'll have it be I'll have a prior announcement like set this premiere to then. I think that would be a better idea. I have not really any more questions. Okay, that's all good, man. Don't worry about it. I might end the live stream, but and like just do a new one. I don't know. Maybe. And if anybody's curious as to why I don't have gameplay videos on my channel, it's because I don't have a capture card for my Nintendo Switch. I would love to do gameplay, but I think it'd be more fun to like talk about video games instead of play them all the time. Like, that's what I love about video games so much is that I love to play them, but I love making stuff because of them. Like, that's why I got into fan fiction. I love writing fan fiction for like Smash Brothers and Fire Emblem, Zelda at one point. Like, I love doing that because it's like I get the game, I get the material, and I can make that new I can make a fanfic out of it, and I really like that. And same with YouTube videos. Apart from the fact that you catalog that the new Fire Emblem game will depend solely on fan service, I I don't think, depending on what you're saying, like if you mean fan service in that kind of sense with hot looking characters, then no, I don't think so. But in terms of fan service with like the game bringing back a lot of old school characters like Lynn and Celica, although Celica was mainly only known in in recent years because she was in Echo's Shadows of Valentia. And we have Byleth and Corrin. I'm kind of disappointed with some of the character picks, in all honesty. I mean, I'm hoping we get more, but like we have Marth, Corrin, Lynn, Celica, Sigurd, and Byleth. Now, okay, Marth, Celica, Lynn, and Sigurd were good choices because they're very popular characters and they represent a lot from their games. But like Byleth and Corrin just sounded weird. Why not someone else from Fates? Why not Camilla? She's very popular and she'd be different compared to the others cuz she has an axe and she rides a dragon. So she would be representing two archetypes. And for three houses, you could have gone with like Claude or something or Dimitri because they're really popular too and they have different weapons. Hold on, everybody. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Sorry, that was awkward. Anyways, let's see live chat. So yeah, I think Fire Emblem Engage will rely a pretty good amount on fan service. Maybe like the original characters look okay from what I've seen. I haven't seen too much of the game because I'm trying to avoid spoilers, uh, but basically, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a good amount of fan service because the original characters look okay. They look like Fire Emblem Warriors as characters, so who knows? But hey, new mainline Fire Emblem, I'm in. I just hope they have more characters. I think at some point we should get like another Fire Emblem crossover game, but like a full-fledged game with multiple characters from all across the franchise, from Shadow Dragon to Three Houses, and maybe Three Hopes. But I mean, like Shadow Dragon, Gaiden, aka Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, Three Houses, Fates, Awakening. What else? What other Fire Emblem games are there? Oh yeah, Genealogy, The Holy War, Thracia, Binding Blade, Blazing Sword, Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn. So, okay, we have another question. But do you think there will be more characters, or will it be fully focused on the previous Fire Emblem characters? I don't. I think there will be more characters because I think they want to make an original kind of story, but I think they also want to like give promotion to the older characters because they're very popular. So that's what I think regarding if it'll rely completely on fan service. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of original characters, but like the ones I've seen, they just look like they just look like Fire Emblem Warriors characters. So, yeah. like Fire Emblem crossovers. How many fire? We've had like a good amount of Fire Emblem crossovers. We had Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE, which was nothing like a Fire Emblem game. It was, you know what I find funny about Tokyo Mirage Sessions? It's a crossover between Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei, but the game is just nothing like those because it's about idol pop singers. I just find that to be so funny. But getting back to Fire Emblem crossovers, we've had Fire Emblem Heroes, which was ruined by the gotcha mechanics, and that's like another problem I think with modern day gaming. The amount of crap that developers put in to try and get you to spend more money. Granted, I don't think it's completely the developer's fault because I'm sure the producers and the publishers make them do it because they know it'll make a lot of money. Like take Star Wars Battlefront 2 for example. That EA literally made that game launch with pay to win microtransactions. Like for example, if you wanted Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker, you'd have to either pay money, okay, no. You'd have to grind 40 hours of gameplay each. Not including load times, not including how long it takes to get into a game, not including selections and other stuff. That's basically, I truly think that. All right, okay. So, yeah, that's the problem I have with FE Heroes is the gotcha mechanics because the gotcha mechanics are just they ruin games. Like the one time where I find gotcha mechanics to be okay is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because because you can't actually buy the core crystals in the game. Well, you can buy like I think 10 legendaries, but you can only buy it once and you can only get it with the season pass of Xenoblade 2. You can only get the core crystals in Xenoblade by playing the game. You can't buy them unless you buy like what I just said. I know it's still kind of annoying because there's so many cool there's so many cool blades in Xenoblade 2 that are locked behind the RNG, like Cosmos from Xenosaga. But like I just think that gotcha mechanics don't make a game better. They hinder a game. And then we got Fire Emblem Warriors, which Fire Emblem Warriors is pretty it's good. It's okay, I think. It's fun. It's a Warriors game. What's not fun about a Warriors game? But the thing about Warriors is that it focuses too much on like just Awakening and Fate's characters. It didn't really feel like a Fire Emblem crossover. What games were represented? We had Shadow Dragon, uh, Blazing Sword, and Echoes. And then, because you talk about crossovers, if you had to do a crossover with Fire Emblem, which video game would you do it with? Ooh, oh, I think a Xenoblade crossover would be kind of cool. But I think that Fire Emblem and Valkyria Chronicles would be such a cool mix. Both are strategy RPG games. And I one time used to think like, what if there was a Fire Emblem game that took place during a world war? Because like you know how Fire Emblem always takes place during wars in like medieval times and other stuff. Well, why not try that with like a historical event? That could be kind of cool. But then again, that would basically just be Valkyria Chronicles. But that's why I think a crossover between those two could work. Also, I do at some point plan to make a video on. I mentioned this in my very first community post, but I'm gonna make a video sometime about my favorite games of all time. I was gonna share a couple of them on stream if anybody wanted me to, but I think I'll just wait to do a video. But I don't know. And which crossover with Fire Emblem do you think would be silly? Fire Emblem and Call of Duty. Can you imagine Marth running around with like an M4 in his hands and just saying, "The day is mine," and he just guns down enemy soldiers, and then dragons. That would, I know I just said Valkyria Chronicles and Fire Emblem would be a cool crossover, but you know what? At least Valkyria Chronicles has a more unique aesthetic. Just imagine Fire Emblem characters running around with guns. That would be silly, but it would be pretty funny. Best Fire Emblem for beginners. There's a lot of good beginner Fire Emblems. I'd say Awakening is asking for a friend. Okay, I'd say Awakening is your best bet because it has casual mode, which it wasn't the first game to introduce casual mode, but it was in the West because the game that introduced casual mode did not release in the West. So Fire Emblem Awakening is probably your best bet. Three Houses is a good pick too. I think Fates is an okay beginning, like an okay first FE game. A lot of Fates is a very mixed game in the community. Critics loved it when it came out. A lot of fans really dislike Fates for multiple reasons. I actually love Fates, but that's just me. So I think Awakening or Three Houses is your best bet. Maybe even Sacred Stones. Sacred Stones is a pretty good beginner too because it's easier compared to the others and you can grind, so that's nice. Blazing Sword's also great. I think there's a lot of good FE Fire Emblem beginner games. But forget that. All right, thank you. No problem. Also, have you played any Monster Hunter games? Surprisingly, I'm just not interested in Monster Hunter, like playing them. I get why people like the games. They look so cool and so fun, but they're just like there's just too much to do in my opinion. It's just like you just go out and hunt monsters and like that's awesome, but it also seems like it just doesn't it seems like it's too hard to get into for me because you're given so much to do and it's like what do I do first? It's kind of silly that characters like Marth and Ike appear in the codename Steam game since it is something meaningless. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Intelligent Systems just did that to try and boost codename Steam's sales. And they probably did it because like, Intelligent Systems and Fire Emblem. That's probably why they put them in the game. What was I saying before? Anyways, what was I talking? But like forget that. Let's do how about Rick and Morty and Fire Emblem? Oh my god, that would be funny. I love Rick and Morty. I haven't seen season 6 yet because I'm waiting for it to come to HBO Max, but I really enjoy Rick and Morty. Morty. Oh, jeez, Rick, what? Morty, we have to go to the other dimension and fight anime waifus. Oh, jeez, Rick, why? Because we do. Come on. I'm sorry that you all just had to endure that cringe. I'm very sorry for that. So, like I've said before, the next time I do a Q&A, I'm going to announce it prior. That way more people are aware that I'm doing a Q&A because like also, do you think it's good to buy a Wii U in 2022? I think in 2021 and 2020 it was worth it, but I don't 2022, I don't think now is the best time to buy it because they're shutting down the eShop. Like they shut down the ability to use Nintendo gift cards in the eShop, so like you just can't buy any of the virtual console games anymore. And that's kind of unfortunate because that's one of the best parts about the Wii U, the virtual console. Speaking of the Wii U virtual console, can I just say something? Why didn't we get GameCube games on the Wii U? That would have been so cool. So many people like okay, I never grew up with the GameCube. I grew up with the Wii, but I just find it crazy how they didn't put GameCube games on Wii U. It had everything. Game Boy Advance, DS, uh, what else? I had the NES, SNES, N64, the Wii even. They even brought back Wii games. Why not GameCube? And another thing, you could buy Wii games on the Wii U eShop. Why not put Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn there? I guess I'm just saying like why didn't they put GameCube games on there? Because I really want to play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. But because that game is bull crap expensive. That game is like $350 at its cheapest price. That is ridiculous. Who would spend that much money on a video game unless they're collecting? But even then, that's just a lot. That's the other thing with like video games, they can be really expensive. All right, everybody. It's getting kind of late, and I'm gonna end the live stream. So, oh, do you think a Fire Emblem anime would be a good idea, or is it crap, like what Genshin Impact and The World Ends with You will do? I think it depends, because if they made a Fire Emblem anime, what would they base it off? Which game would they go with? Would they go with Shadow Dragon because it's the original game? Would they go with Awakening because it's the most popular? Because it was the most popular? It sold the best. It saved the franchise. Would we go with Three Houses because it's the most popular game? Would we go with Fates because it has the most probably anime out of any other game in the series? I don't know. If it were done, do you think it would be extremely long? Probably. Although, since they shrunk down Persona 5 the animation by they shrunk a 100-hour long game into 25 20-minute 24-minute episodes, it could be that length. 25 episodes is already a lot though. That's the reason why I tend to stay away from like really long anime. I haven't watched any anime recently cuz I've been busy. And I've been busy like making YouTube videos, doing school stuff and other hobbies, you know. I really only play video games on the weekend because I don't feel like playing it during the week. It feels. Am I the? I think I'm the only one who feels this, but playing video games during the week feels uncomfortable because it's like you've got other better things to do. I mean, at least I do, and it's like I don't got time to game. I gotta do some work and exercise and all that. It just feels weird. On a weekend though, I'd love to play some games. So all right, everybody, that's going to wrap up the live stream. I hope you all enjoyed. Next time we do a Q&A, I will make sure to announce it ahead of time. So have a good night, everybody.